Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby, coming to you live from Pier 17 in the South Street Seaport and brought to you by Chase. Jalen, even though it's been quite some time, I'm still just in awe. I'm still in shock. I'm still reeling from the fact that Russell Westbrook and James Harden will both be playing on the Rockets next season. Now that we've both had some time to process this, explain to me how this is going to work in actual X's and O's on the basketball.
It's only been a couple of days. You've been working in the media way too long. These stories happen in dog years for you, huh?
Yes.
Here's how it's going to work. It's not always who plays together, it's when. And both of these guys have accomplished so very much individually. 2 of the last 3 MVP awards have gone to these guys. Both of these guys have led the league in total points. Each have led the league in total assists. Russell Westbrook has had a triple-double for 3 straight seasons. James Harden led the league in total free throws made, 3-pointers made. These guys are really unique at what they do. So how does this work based on the fact that they're both have the highest usage in the game over the last handful of years and probably some of the highest usage of any players in the history of the NBA? 2 words, respect for one another. When Russell Westbrook is initiating offense, unlike when Chris Paul or even Eric Gordon last year was doing it, James Harden shouldn't be disinterested walking towards half court, distorting the spacing, not spotting up, hands and feet ready for a kickout pass. Also, sacrifice. Clearly, they're going to be starting the game and finishing the game, but Mike D'Antoni has to juggle and manage it throughout the game.
A lot of staggering.
Where guys are in and not in together. So both of those guys feel a chance to get their games going. And then lastly, off the ball. Both of those guys need to improve. Neither guy sets screens off the ball. Neither guy really cuts off the ball.
They don't really come off screens either.
So these are things that as basketball players you need to improve on. We talked about AD improving. We talked about the Greek Freak improving. The great thing about sports is that it's imperfect. Like working at your strengths and enhancing your strengths and working at your weaknesses is what this is about. And I think at this point of their careers, when they look around the league and see dynamic duels everywhere, and all of a sudden they look in the locker room like, we still have Gordon, Capella, Tucker, the core group of our squad still in that lost 4 or 5 years to the Warriors. Now we add Russ. All of a sudden, they should feel more confident about their chances.
I really think so. And also, no fault of his, but Chris Paul has been unhealthy in the playoffs recently. You know what I mean? And that happens to him from time to time. And it's unfortunate more than anything else. But you mentioned those 5. Capella, Tucker, Gordon, Westbrook, Harden, playing the last 5 minutes in the fourth quarter. That looks pretty good. If you're the Rockets right now, you're pretty confident about what you have and what you have around you. Are you concerned about them defensively in the backcourt?
I am concerned about them defensively. The good is that they gamble and get steals. First and second in the league. Westbrook and Harden. The bad is that they gamble and get steals.
Yes.
Okay, so you can't have 2 guys necessarily doing that and expecting Tucker to be a help defender, expecting Capella to be a rim protector, because either of those guys will be frustrated in foul trouble or just not as effective. So those guys have what it takes athletically. Harden has the strength to guard players larger than him on the post and keep them from backing him down. Westbrook has the athleticism to stop people from consistently beating them off the dribble. Now do they have the want to? I believe that they will, playing together under these circumstances.
It is now time for Statue News. You are the premier statue analyst in the world. I'm now joined by Jalen Rose, senior statue analyst of ESPN and of all media around the world.
An assumed title that I accept and appreciate.
In the wake of the Women's World Cup victory, the Rose Bowl has put outside of their illustrious stadium this statue of Brandi Chastain after she scored the penalty kick that gave the Women's World Cup trophy to the U.S. just a few years ago. Jalen, what do you think about this?
Is that where she went to college?
Statue No, she did not go to USC. This is where the game was held and when she scored the goal.
Boss move, classy move, and this is typical California that I want to appreciate.
Oh, okay.
They make sure they pay homage to game changers in sports and entertainment. Whether it's the Walk of Fame, whether it's outside of the Staples Center, all of the great Lakers that have been honored.
Not only Lakers, they got Oscar out there.
Oscar, Wayne Gretzky. And so I appreciate that they always find ways to pay homage to iconic people when they do not so ordinary things. So not only did they win and she scored an amazing goal, but her taking off the shirt, that's an iconic, memorable moment that embodies a statue. It therefore legitimizes her actually having it. I support this 1,000%.
I hope every player from that team has their name on that statue. Because Brandon Chastain, it was a team sport. She got a penalty kick. It was a good moment, but it wasn't like she did it all alone. Moving on, we have more statue news, a double dose of statue news today. Jalen, I have a lot of questions about this one. This is Conor McGregor. It looks like it's still being chipped away at. The artist put this on his Instagram. Jalen, what do you think about this Conor McGregor edifice?
It looks dope.
It looks like him, right?
It's awesome.
Like whoever is doing this statue, he should be doing all the statues.
Correct. Whoever did that is really talented. It reminds me something biblical. It reminds me of a life-size Porsche. It reminds me of a life-size style tribute to a performer like Conor, who I don't know that he's necessarily earned a statue.
I was going to ask that question next. As a senior statue analyst, does Conor McGregor deserve a statue based on his body of work?
No.
But what about in Ireland?
And if he was going to have a statue, it should be like this.
But then, see, I was thinking that too, but it's too hard to manifest that without the movement.
Midstream, like Brandy Chastain.
It's a little difficult.
You got to have the arms and the shoulders all in different spaces. That's all.
Okay. When we come back,
baseball players doing it. You got football players doing it. That's his signature.
When we come back, not only will we be talking about the future of Chris Paul.
But he didn't want them problems with Floyd Mayweather, did he?
When we come back, not only will we be talking about the future of Chris Paul, we'll be doing it with a special guest. Find out who that is.
Floyd didn't want him with him in the octagon.
Right after this.